Welcome to Noiramore Academy, the demo. As you all know, I enjoy puzzle games. I also like the setting of a school. This is a bit of both. So let's check out the demo for this murder mystery and see if it's worth keeping our eyes on.
Noirmore Academy, one of Drakenspire's most prestigious schools with over 500 years of storied history. The current headmaster, Julius Claiborne, is a former general who runs our school with military precision and discipline. Our wonderful planet of Noivesse is home to a great many talents in resonetic abilities, and Noiramore's teachers are uniquely qualified in instructing such essential subjects. But while we specialise in resonetic talents, our other subjects are not taught any less thoroughly, and every student is encouraged to explore their unique talents in our extracurricular programmes. Noirmore Academy guides our students to commit to their studies, keep sound minds, maintain their manners, and most importantly, behave in a manner befitting the reputation of our beloved institution.
Extortion, Miss Hovern. Is that really what you're up to now?
I wouldn't call it extortion, sir. I simply told the cafeteria cook that I would keep the existence of his pet vermin on the down low if he provided me with an extra brownie or two at lunchtime. It was mutual exchange that neither of us had issues with.
Yes, Judith, that's extortion. Of course he had issues with it. Thank goodness I caught you in the act.
Well, why am I the one sitting here in this office when it's the cook who is keeping vermin pets?
I've already talked with Mr. Seabrook, Judith. It's dealt with. And more importantly, none of your business. What concerns me is you. Sneaking around at night, lying to teachers, extorting staff. This is a decidedly concerning trend. Don't you want to be a good example for your sister?
Indeed. It must be hard enough for her to be younger than her classmates.
For the next month, you are not permitted to attend film club. Do you understand, Miss Hovern?
But sir, I won't be able to see any movies outside of that club.
Hence why it's a punishment. Miss Nunatak will check that you aren't seen there.
I'll make sure of it.
Judith, head back to class, please.
Good old Seabrook didn't rat me out, it seems. Brownies weren't the only things I asked him for. Apparently, one of his old classmates from back in the day was really into puzzles. He set up some kind of secret puzzle in the history classroom years ago, and Seabrook never figured it out. Let's see if I can.
During the Onyx War, various battles were fought in the Inked Wastes. Some were relegated to land, others underground in the caverns, and many on the Inked Sea. Our fiefdom, Drakenspire, went head-to-head against the fiefdom of Northburg in a horrid conflict spanning 4 years. It irrevocably changed our fiefdom forever. Miss Cabrera, no drawing in class. Can anyone here tell me why the Onyx War was instigated? Miss Landerhoof?
Yes, ma'am. The Onyx War was started due to Northburg spies sabotaging our resonetic ring production process. Northburg took advantage of this to sell their own rings in order to gain the kingdom's favor.
A good summation, Miss Landerhoof. Can anyone else tell me why it was the Inked Wastes that were chosen as the fateful battleground?
The Inked Wastes is between the two fiefdoms. Plus, it was where we mined our ore for the rings.
Excellent, Mr. Strumps. Now, what is it about the Inked Wastes that make it a particularly terrible place to fight a war? Miss Acre?
Oh, yes, Miss Grimsby. Well, the Inked Waste is a nasty, nasty place, full of hard creatures that will gobble you up and suck out all of your blood. Oh, and of course you can't forget to mention the Surge, which will suck you down into its deep depths and fill your lungs with tar, its tendrils digging deep into your brain until...
That's quite enough, Miss Acre. Oh, quite enough. Our unit this semester will be all about the Onyx War. Since it is the most recent major conflict in Drakenspire's history, we will be studying it in depth. And speaking of which, you may have heard tell that a new science teacher will be joining us this year to replace Mr. Mason. His name is Mr. Bagshaw, and he actually worked in the Research and Development Division of the Drakenspire Army. I'm sure he will have plenty to share with you that can enhance your education. Anyway, I am now giving you the rest of the period to work on the papers I assigned to you yesterday about the instigation of the war. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Dismissed.
I quite like the character designs. It's interesting to note they all have horns and they seem to have magic with the horns. All except the teacher. And make note, nobody holds their books because they're using their horns to kind of hold them. Except that girl over there and the teacher, who so happens to not have a horn at all. Game runs mostly smoothly, but I am having some visual artifacting. I don't know if the video program is going to pick it up. I kind of hope not. Even though I put on VSync, I'm still having some screen tears. I hope it's something, well, that will be sorted before the final release.
Mrs. Grimsby, our history teacher. Bit of an odd duck, that one. She says that about 15 years ago, she was attacked and her horn was snapped off. Now she uses a wand to channel her waves, but wands aren't the most reliable. She's a nervous wreck of a person. Almost makes me feel sorry for her.
Is that woman reading a romance novel in class?
Oh, Miss Hovern, is your paper done? You're scampering about as if it were?
Yes, miss. I put it on your desk yesterday.
Oh, yes, of course. Carry on. Unless you have any questions about future assignments.
Oh. So, we're in the Onyx War unit now?
So, I guess we're in the Onyx War unit now, huh? How long will we be studying it?
Till the end of the semester. It's an incredibly important part of our recent history that affected many aspects of our current-day lives and politics. You have a good head for these topics, so I trust you will do well with it. And, please, do not include any battlefield photos in your presentations again.
Oh.
You know, I haven't the stomach for it.
Aha. Of course, miss. I may not be able to get away with it anymore, but other students will be doing that now. She pays less attention to the actual quality of the presentation, since she's too distracted by her disgust. And after all, she can't very well dock points for accurate visual reporting, or historical fact.
That child is a menace.
By the way, miss, I thought I saw you carrying a big net near the stables yesterday. What was that about?
That couldn't have been me, Judith. Why would I have a net?
That's what I was wondering. Hence why I asked you.
Oh, no. Wasn't me.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Is that romance book on your desk part of the curriculum?
No. Just a little something to read during lunch. Completely school appropriate, I assure you. Teachers need a bit of downtime entertainment too, child. No need to be nosy.
Ah, but curiosity is my speciality, miss. Is that not the foundation of learning?
No need to be disingenuous, which, coincidentally, is also a speciality of yours. You and I both know you're smart enough to tell the difference between nosy and curious.
You flatter me, miss.
Now, it's not wrong. Teachers do need some, entertainment when they're on break. Romance novels is not one of it. I used to mess around with Duolingo mostly. So, if the kids got me on my phone, I could at least excuse it by, I'm studying.
A Corvinstone crystal tree. They say that every king or queen is buried under one once they croak.
Oh.
I wonder if a royal is buried under this tree. The king of class clowns, perhaps.
I doubt it.
Nicholas Strumps and Becky Landerhoof. They and I aren't on the best of terms. Becky leads the school's historical reenactment club. She's a real stickler for accuracy, to an obnoxious degree. Nicholas is her boyfriend. He's a nerd about naval history and sea battles and the like. Becky hasn't talked to me in a while, probably because of what I did at the reenactment. But I only did it because she needed to be taken down a peg. She should have thought of it as a favor, really. Becky, Nicholas.
What do you want?
Nothing. Can't a friend just greet a friend without coming across as needy?
Huh, friend. Right. Leave us alone.
We are not the most popular person in class.
Northberg's crest. Some students' parents complained about this being hung in the classroom, saying it was disrespectful to the men who fought against Northberg. But Headmaster Claiborne, who was one of those very men, told them it was fine for educational purposes. He's an old stick in the mud, but at least he can stand up to the PTA parents.
That's good.
These are crystals, whose vibrations prevent anyone in the classroom from using telepathy. To prevent cheating, I gather. I heard that one time, an upperclassman secretly switched them out for fakes before a big test.
So they have the ability to, read minds?
The crest of the royal family of Corveth, our current king, is the big boss of all Corveth's fiefdoms. Supposedly, he's an unbiased ruler, but after the war, he seems to be more favorable to Drakenspire. Good for us, I guess. The crest of the Noirmore family. They died off with the passing of Headmaster Noirmore 20 years ago. They say she was going insane before her death, that she thought the Onyx War would be the end of the world. She was deposed as headmaster before her mysterious passing. Wonderfully spooky stuff.
Oh, secrets can kill, kiddos. Keep your trap shut about sensitive topics. Over the waves, the bats could always be listening. And we have this. Careful where you aim your sight, or you'll shoot someone's favorite eye out. It's a display of a Rarinok skull. It's an old battle tactical board. Oh, I can move them around. I'm gonna abandon the like the puzzle for now, because I don't know what the puzzle is.
That's Marisol Aker. She's a member of the Historical Reenactment Club. She insists that she's a secret heir to the throne, descended from a long-lost royal ancestor. She's also really into true crime and horror stories. Once, she was taken to the counsellor for the amount of books she checked out on concerning subjects. Sol's never hurt anybody, though. She's a good kid.
This is why it's really handy that we can just watch true crime on YouTube now.
Lady Judith! Greetings!
Hello, Sol.
Might I ask if the film club will have the honor of your presence today? We are watching Murder in the Depths, a delightful horror reel that combines Fellmorian and Noivesse directing technique. Additionally, I heard tell that real skeletons were used to depict the bodies of the murder victims. Oh, please refrain from informing any school staff of this fact. I do not wish to get into detention again for my interests.
I'm sorry, I just got into trouble with the headmaster. Can't join in film club for a while.
Oh, really? I'm simply crestfallen to hear such a thing. I do hope you may join us soon. A new batch of my skull-shaped cookies will be awaiting your arrival.
Deathly delicious, as you always say.
Indeed, I do.
Why were you in detention?
You mentioned getting into detention at one point. What was that for?
Have I not told you of that incident? Ah, yes, this was from before we knew one another, I believe. In the library's radio room, I and several other students had met up to share our favorite radio shows. I turned the channel to my personal pick. As it went on, a few of the students seemed to become quite frightened. The librarian came in to check on us, and when he heard what we were listening to, well, he immediately took me to the headmaster's office. Unfortunately, I was banned from turning the channel ever again.
What exactly did you have them listen to?
A series detailing the stories of serial killers. A tad graphic, I must admit, but also rife with educational content.
I do like her. Our cat seems to be floating up and down a little bit for some reason. Not sure why. What are you reading?
What are you reading there?
An autopsy report, that's all.
Autopsy? Of who?
Baroness Belladonna Lattimore, a death from 30 years ago that many would consider suspicious. I am continuing my studies of famous deaths in order to increase my likelihood of becoming a forensic pathologist someday. That is my backup career plan, if my status as a true princess is never officially acknowledged anyway.
So you're trying to solve a cold case. Have you gotten any leads?
Some things I find unusual, yes, but nothing that hasn't been already noted by famous doctors. Besides, my specialty is in cadaver forensics. I'll need a detective's mind to piece together the entire mystery. Perhaps you might assist me in that sometime soon, Judith, since you're so good at mysteries and all.
That does sound like a good bit of fun. I'll keep that in mind. What's going on with the reenactment club? Becky still won't talk to me.
Oh, are you planning on rejoining? Because, to be entirely honest, Lady Judith, I do not believe you will be allowed.
I'm just curious about what you're all up to.
I see. Well, our next grand reenactment is happening in a few days' time. It will be one of our biggest yet, covering the land and sea battle of Westlane on the 25th anniversary of the Onyx War's beginning.
Oh yeah, Grimsby mentioned that. And I think she said that non-club students are encouraged to join, since it's so big and educational or something. I know I can't become a club member, but I could probably help out a bit in this one, right?
Lady Judith, you know that I cannot approve you or not. You would have to talk with Becky. Have you apologized to her yet?
No, Why should I have to? She was the one who started everything.
Are you sure her slights against you were reality rather than simply perceived?
I know what I saw. I can read people.
Not all books are of the same language. Other languages exist, and one person cannot know all of them. As a person who holds precious friendships with the both of you, this continued feud hurts my heart. Pray, consider taking the first step to end it.
So, this thing we did to that girl over there was perhaps completely undeserved.
Fashion about 500 years out of date. Who thought those pants were a good idea?
I mean, old fashion was fascinating.
A statue of a cave hound. They don't have eyes, since they live in deep caves, and hunt using echolocation. Additionally, they are very good boys.
Oh, they look like good boys. Old queen?
An old plate depicting Queen Clarentia. I don't know why any royal would want food smeared all over an image of their face, though. Oh, come on, Judith. They're obviously decorative. Think.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, that doesn't seem like something you would eat of.
Hunting arrows. Before more modern killing innovations, most people use their powers to shoot these things through the air. Bigger ones for hunting, smaller ones for more ethically dubious purposes. A sword, used by one of Corveth's knights. I don't know why it isn't behind glass. Grimsby has more faith in her students than I do, I guess.
She does. She has way more faith than I would ever have.
A diorama of a typical crystal farm from 500 years ago. It's considered good, honest work. But if being honest means no money and a lack of indoor plumbing, I think I'll keep my tongue white with at least a few lies.
I love, like, the old dresses. They were so pretty.
That's Deacon Vespsia. He's good friends with Lydia, Gina and I. His dad is a pastor in town, which means he's a bit too much of a moralist for my taste. But he's got a sharp tongue at times. He fixed up the old treehouse we use as a clubhouse.
Judith, hey, have you finished the paper yet?
Naturally.
Ha! Well, I'm just a tad worried about getting it done on time. Especially because I'm just not getting it. Mrs. Grimsby's teaching style is, well...
atrocious.
I was going to choose a kinder word, like peculiar?
That's the meanest thing I've ever heard coming out of your mouth.
Well, it's hard for her to teach about a war when she gets queasy over just mentioning death or blood. She's definitely skipping out on some important stuff. Can you summarise the cause of the war a bit more clearly for me?
All right. Don't tell me I never did anything for you. The fiefdoms of Northburg and Drakenspire have been at odds for hundreds of years, ever since they were first established by brothers with bad blood between them. Our fiefdom of Drakenspire was known for the production of excellent resonetic augmentation rings. This was due to the high-quality ore mined from our territory in the Inked Wastes. These rings rose our standing with the king, drawing the jealousy of Northburg. 25 years ago, however, many rings were found to be dangerously faulty, to the point that some who used them lost their resonetic talents altogether. A misinformation campaign was launched that said it was due to Baron Leoric of Drakenspire pursuing cheaper mining in areas with ore tainted by the Surge. Royal investigations were launched. In the meantime, Baron Neirath of Northburg offered to sell his own rings and provide medical assistance to the affected fiefdoms. The king began to favour Neirath, and granted him the right to mine in the inked wastes. Soon, however, the king's spies revealed the truth. A double agent, supposedly working for Drakenspire, had manipulated documents to direct miners to the tainted areas, making it look like Baron Leoric had ordered it. Once the truth was revealed, tensions between the fiefdoms skyrocketed. Leoric, furious, mobilized his troops and marched upon the inked wastes, intent on taking his mines back. Neirath sent out troops in response, declaring that he still had legal right to the land. A battle began. The initial conflict was very bloody, very quickly, since Drakenspire's citizenry were incensed at Neirath's actions. The fervor of combat led to some of the Northberg miners to be killed in the fray. Since they were civilians, Northberg's soldiers fought back with a similar anger. Meanwhile, the king was mad with Leoric for engaging Neirath, since the investigation was not closed, and he'd bypassed royal authority by sending out troops. As such, the king did not take sides, leading the fiefdoms to engage in combat exclusively with the other, as other fiefdoms were not permitted to become involved. The war lasted for 4 years and was fought almost entirely in the inked wastes. The area was already known for its strange, twisted evils, horrid beasts and the infection of the surge on the land, brutal bloodshed, and new types of resonetic weaponry only twisted the place further. One can only be glad we were born after it was all over, eh?
Huh. I think I'm getting it a bit more now. Thanks, Judith.
No problem.
You mentioned resonetic weapons affecting the land. Did those help or hurt the surge? Oh, and what happened to Lord Neirath after the war?
This whole unit is going to be about the war. You'll learn that stuff soon enough. And if you don't get it, I'll drill it into your skull, knucklehead.
Ha ha. Thanks.
That was actually a very clever way to give us like the backstory of the world. I also like how the animation uses shadow puppets. It has a very pleasant style to it.
What are you doing?
Sketching the window. I've always liked it. I want to build stained glass windows in my church one day.
Your church? Don't you mean your dad's church?
I used to want to take over for my dad, but now I've been thinking of building a church of my own, once I go through seminary college.
Already got your life planned out for yourself, huh? You're only 13, Deacon. Lighten up a little.
Don't you have any dreams for yourself when you're older? You're not going to be exploring the school and frustrating the teachers forever.
I mean, technically, I could keep doing both of those things if I became a teacher myself.
You? Dreaming to be a teacher? Doubtful.
You got me. Though, I'd say my current hobbies would lead to a mean career in detective work, no?
That sounds more like you. Detective Hovern has a nice ring to it.
I can already imagine it, printed on the frosted glass door of my one-room office in the city that never sleeps. Any plans for the treehouse?
Yeah, I've got a few sketches I'm working on. I don't know how I'm going to get enough wood or nails to finish my plans though.
We could take apart the door on Glitter's stable, or we could dig up her grave and use the coffin. She's an animal made out of stone. She doesn't really need a coffin anyway.
Judith.
All right. If I come across any, I'll make sure not to tell you where I sourced it from.
Let's not go digging up graves. So far, I think he might be the kind of weakest in the voice acting. But even then, like, he's doing okay. What's with these things? Fairies. They look very cute.
Gina Wendigan, resident drama kid. She was cast as a fluffbat in an upcoming school play and has been method acting for a month now.
Oh.
Her obsession got even worse when she read through the Warrior Bats books. She thinks they're actually accurate to Fluffbat's behaviour, and now she's declared I'm part of her bat clan. Her antics can be weird, but she's a good friend. I've known her for a long time.
Nightclaw Judith, I need your help.
With what?
Well, my wings are that of a warrior. They are strong and my claws are sharp. All good traits of a warrior bat. However, well, sometimes I can wield them a little clumsily. And, I ripped a small hole when I was swooping past this dress.
Oh, Gina, this dress is 500 years old.
I know. If Grimsby sees, I might get kicked out of the school. But I've built my roost here. I can't get kicked out. As a fellow member of the Nightclaw clan, I am formally asking for your assistance, Judith.
It looks like the dress uses a particular stitch here. I don't know how to copy it well enough to pass Grimsby's inspection.
Squeak, squeak, squeak! Oh, I'm sorry. That was a curse word in bat language. I need to watch my tongue.
I'll try to find someone who could help. This sounds like something Becky would know.
Thanks, Nightclaw Judith. You are a valuable member of the clan.
It does sound like something the reenactment girl would know, and do perfectly.
The play's next week, right? Are you excited for all your method acting to finally pay off?
We Fluffbats have a great appreciation for the arts. I am happy to take part in the play and make my clan proud by representing our warrior hearts.
What's going to happen to your Fluffbat persona once the play is over?
I am a true bat at heart. I don't know what you mean by persona.
In another play she was in, she was cast as a janitor, and she cleaned the whole cafeteria. And when she was cast as a tree, she stayed outside and photosynthesized for hours. She's completely dedicated to the bit.
Yes, she is very much a method actor.
Added anything neat to your roost lately?
Oh, yes. I just added a hammock to sleep from. It's not traditional to my people, since they hang from the ceiling with their feet, but it is very comfortable, and it's hanging off the ground to keep me safe from predators.
Oh, that's right. She needed a hammock because she almost broke her horn when she tried to sleep while hanging from the rafters.
A question for you, Nightclaw Judith. I saw you've added a poster of a Psyquine man to your roost. Is this because you find him, what's the word in your language? Cute?
Gina, come on. That's just the poster for a detective holoreel. I'm not ready to like boys yet. I'm only 13.
That has not stopped some of my students. Have you finished reading the Warrior Bat book?
So, have you finished reading the Warrior Bat series?
Thrice over.
What? Aren't there like 50 books in the series?
It's important for me to know every detail for my Fluffbat cultural studies.
Gina, you do know those aren't accurate to real Fluffbats, right? It's a fantasy fiction series.
Have you read them? Have you studied anything about Fluffbat behavior or history?
Well, no.
Then don't tell me what I do or do not know about my own species. Thank you.
Okay. She takes it maybe a little bit too seriously. I think we've spoken to almost everybody. Let's start by speaking to Betty, though, and see if we can't get her to help fix the dress.
Leave us alone.
Gina needs some help.
Nicholas, I need to talk to Becky.
Why should she help you with anything?
I don't need help. This is for Gina, not me. She accidentally tore a hole in the dress over there, and I'm gonna stitch it for her, but I don't know how to do those fancy old ones. Again, this isn't me, it's for Gina. You know she's too shy to ask people outside her clan.
Yeah, that's true. Becky?
For Gina, here. I studied that dress a while ago. What seam was torn?
Look like the part with the lace at the bottom.
Easy enough fix as long as the lace wasn't too frayed. Use the stitch in this book on page 27. Give Gina my regards.
Oh, I can talk to some of the sitting students. At least this one. Hello.
Lydia Cabrera. Artist and big-time sports fan. She mostly likes paint, but I've seen her make art pieces out of anything she can get her hands on. Both she and I don't get along with the teachers too well, but she has the advantage of being an artist. After all, it's hard to stay too mad at the girl who will draw the school holiday card designs for free. I've known her since last year.
She has very different horns from everyone else.
Hey Jay, what's the damage?
Banned from film club for a while.
Bummer. We just got a copy of Murder in the Depths too.
You did?
Yep. Hopefully they won't return it to town before you see it.
Almost makes me regret being such a delinquent. What are you doing?
Carving chalk. Wanna help me?
Why would I do that?
I want to make a whole set of carved chalk to give to David below me on the lake ball team. I think he'd, think it's neat or something.
Lydia, David is like 4 years older than you.
Which won't be a problem when he's a famous lake ball star in his mid-20s. Might as well make sure he knows my name before he gets famous and all. So, are you gonna help me or not? I'd do it myself, but he's leaving for a game in a few hours, and I want to give it to him before then.
I don't really want to get my gloves dirty. Can you give me a lunch token in exchange?
Ugh, sure. Come on.
Alright,
Fine.
let's do it.
Great, here's the knife. Just try to match the 3 I've already made, okay? Chip off the sides.
Oh. Okay, not bad. Oh. Whoops. That's as close as we're gonna get it. Oh, here, okay. Oh, I can hold down the mouse button. That makes it a little bit easier. That makes it so much worse. Ay, 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 ay. Yes, okay, let's just go like so. Ours is just a little bit, creative. Yeah, that works. The controls on this aren't the easiest. Good enough.
These look fine.
Fine?
Yeah, here's a lunch token for your time. Treat yourself.
Thanks.
Have you finished your paper?
Have you finished your paper?
No, I'm a visual artist. Words bore me.
Do you want some help or something?
It'll all go over my horns anyway. Don't bother. I'll listen to a recording or something about the war later.
Has Mr. Cabrera caught you yet?
For what?
Turning your library book into a shadow box of that sports star guy?
His protective cousin instincts will outweigh his librarian need to send me to detention.
Somehow I doubt that.
Have you been caught for taking one of the automaton's personality cores?
Its voice was really annoying, okay?
Okay, these two are delightful. I think I've spoken to everyone. Oh, I haven't spoken to you.
Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for.
Oh. 1?
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, we haven't looked at it properly.
These were all recently published. Seabrook's friend went to school before the war, so I doubt any of these would work. I should ask the book sprites for help. A picture of the biggest island in the Inked Sea. It's where the Onyx tribe lives. Miss Nunatak comes from there, I think. A picture of a soldier from the Onyx War. I think he was Grimsby's son. A model of one of the submarines used in the war. They were gradually phased out after the monsters in the Inked Sea were mutated by psi-bombs and destroyed subs on sight.
Oh dear. Maybe they wanted revenge?
A knight's helm. Some helmets try to offer protection for the horn, but that ends up blocking waves needed for combat. Besides, most healthy horns have natural current barriers that work almost as well as armor anyway.
Let's start the sewing book first. Okay. Here. Go inventory. Equip. Oh! Oh, that's cool. Now my horn is active and it like floats around with me.
Gina,
Here you go.
Look what I've got.
Nightclaw Judith, what is it?
I've got a guide on how to make that stitch to repair the dress, and a needle and thread.
By the great bat's wings! Thank you. Can you help me repair it? I'm afraid my claws would only tear it more.
Sure. Watch this.
It needs to go here. Then here. Then here. And here. Here and here. And then just repeat. I do enjoy when games have like mechanics like this.
There you go, all repaired. Grimsby shouldn't know the difference.
Thank you once again for your help, Nightclaw Judith. May the great bat, leader of our clan, bless you this day, and may your catch of earnings always be juicy. Here, take a lunch coin.
Thanks, Gina.
We got 2 lunch coins now. But we have this. Let me inspect this again. Historic classroom page number is number of cave hounds times the number of windows plus the numbers of student desks. Now there's only 1 cave hound, so we just have to do number of windows plus desks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 windows. And in a row of desks, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hate the 7 multiplication tablet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 35 plus 13 would be 48.
Before I ask them...
48. Oh, I can do it.
That doesn't sound right.
No? No, wait. There's one up there. And there. And there. 4 cave hounds. So 4 times 13, so it would be 87?
Before... that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I see my mistake. I miscounted the desks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think the number then should be 82?
Before I ask them... Bingo.
82,
Hello,
okay.
little guy.
That was my mistake.
I need to find a pre-war history textbook. Maybe from around the 2190s?
But how did knowing the page help us find the book?
Without further ado... Huh. Interesting. A battle that took place way before the Onyx War, but it still involved Drakenspire and Northberg.
Oh. Okay. Find something to do with the old history book. I would think this thing.
This has got to be related to the textbook, but this scene shows a different battle. Though looking closer at the paint, it seems like this table has been used for years and was painted over whenever a new scene was needed. Platoon... company? Ugh. I don't know how many soldiers those are. Maybe I'll have to ask someone for help.
Somebody who would know a lot about war. It would either be her... Well, let's start with her. Oh. It would be the Historical Reenactment Club, wouldn't it?
Leave us alone.
Nicholas, I need to ask you something about the military.
Huh. Becky, did you hear something? You know, I am feeling pretty darn hungry today. Maybe, just maybe, if I had an extra lunch token, my ears would clear up.
Oh. Well, I do have 2 of those. Wait, no. Okay, equip this. I didn't want to equip the... not the pencil. The token. Why? Okay, wait. How do I... Come on. Yes. Love me. There we go.
Here's a lunch token. Now spill your guts, war geek.
Bribing me, I see. Fine. What's your question?
I need to know how many soldiers are in a patrol, a platoon, and a company.
Basic question. Hardly worth a lunch token, but I'll take it anyway. In Drakenspire, the average is 20 men per patrol, 40 men per platoon, and 140 per company.
Guess the Reenactment Club can teach useful things sometimes.
Rich. Real rich. Buzz off.
Alright. Now we should be able to do this. Oh, it shows on the book where I'm aiming. That's good. There were 2 Northburian patrols to the far west and 1 patrol to the east of the Northern Canyon. Their base, which had 3 barracks, was on the river peninsula, and company resided there. 1 platoon guarded the beach just to the northeast. As for the Drakenspire, there was a company in the far northeast, but not in the river. Additionally, there was a platoon and a base on top of the mountain, and 3 platoons at the western base of the mountain. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So, there were 2 Northburian patrols to the far west. So, I would say here could be far west. And 1 patrol to the east of the canyon. So, like so. The base, which has 3 barracks, was on the river peninsula, so like here-ish. Move you out of the way. So here, a company resided there. Okay. If patrols are 20 men, the company are 140. Then we need 20, 40. Okay. One platoon guarded the beach just to the northeast. River Peninsula. Is this then the peninsula? Need... There. Wait. What am I then supposed to do with these guys? One of you has to be here. Oh, there were 2 patrols to the west. Okay. Then we go to the Drakenspire. There was a company in the far northeast, but not in the river. Okay, so that would be like... Additionally, there was a platoon and a base on top of the mountain. Let me move that. Okay, the base was at the top of the mountain. And there was a platoon there, which is 40 men. And 3 platoons at the western base of the mountain, which would be around here-ish. Should be 60. Is this more the base? There we go. Oh!
There we go.
Shiny gems.
What do we have here?
The second note. The creation of Noirmore Academy started as a twinkle in Catherine Noirmore's eye. Okay.
I'll have to get up there to investigate. But Grimsby will object if she sees me. Maybe I can get someone to distract her.
Let's see what we can find. Somebody to distract Miss Briggs. Artist.
Lydia, I need to do something that I don't think Grimsby will like. Can you distract her for me?
Sure, I guess. Have fun.
I can reach higher positions by aiming with E. Ooh. Oh. Hello. Oh, I almost... Okay, I need to get, like, closer. Get, like... There. I do like the powers.
Lady Noirmore, the woman who founded the school. Her family remained the headmasters for 500 years until the Onyx War. There's a hole where her pupil is.
I do have a pencil on me. Equip the pencil. I guess we need to get back up there. I do love the little jumps. Huh.
Cracked it. What's this?
Oh, more gems. These gems belong to the leader of the pack. His color must match the procession of the hunt. I'm guessing on the dog. Procession of the hunt. So, I'm guessing these characters, so we would go red, green, purple, blue, green, red? Okay. How do I... Yes. Red, green, purple, blue, green. How do I... There? Red. The controls are a little bit finicky in this. There we go. There is no way the teacher does not hear that.
Just like the tapestry.
Hey Jake, I'm glad you finally were able to solve one of my puzzles. I put a lot of effort into this one. I made that color myself. I managed to slip it on the statue just before our new history teacher arrived. Anyway, I think this is the last puzzle I'll get to make before graduation. It's been a fine few years growing up in the school. and I'm really glad I got to spend them with you, my best bud. Since you won't be getting out of this joint until next year, I hope you'll use that time to finally solve some of my other puzzles too. Anyway, here's what I found. It's some kind of a blueprint of a door that leads to a secret passage. I haven't figured out how to open the door just yet. Was so busy finishing this puzzle before graduation. It's probably got to do with the glass pattern on it. I look forward to hearing all about what's behind it when I next see you. But he never did.
Seabrook will probably want to see this. A bit pathetic he wasn't able to solve this puzzle, really. High King above. Now this is interesting.
Ah.
Considering how old this parchment looks, there could be something incredible behind this door. I've got to find it as soon as I can.
Calling all students to the entry hall, all students to the entry hall. A new teacher is arriving to the school. Please line up in formation flanking the entry doors, and let us give him a warm Noiramore welcome.
Ah, and here he is. Come now, children, follow me. 2 straight lines.
This is going to be the end of the demo, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, so let me give my thoughts on this. The performance is mostly good, but I am seeing some screen tearing, and some of the controls are a little bit finicky. But I really do like the puzzles. The voice acting is quite good, and I think this might be a really interesting puzzle game. I do enjoy the setting of the school, and having a character that's just kind of interested in solving puzzles. I do really enjoy the character designs and the art style, and I honestly look forward to seeing what will become of this game. I will be adding it to my wishlist on Steam so I can follow its progress, and hopefully we will see it released sometimes in the future. If you enjoyed the game, make sure to check it out. I will have a link to the store page in the description, and I would love to hear your opinion on the game so far. Let's talk about it down in the comments, and while you're down there, like and subscribe to appease those algorithmic overlords. And in the end, all I want to say is tack för att horva. Hög the yndislegan dag.